cover crops are yet another piece of the food plot puzzle, and overlooking them could be likened to eating cake without the icing. You're missing out on one of the best parts, so stay with us and we'll share with you how these inexpensive yet highly productive efforts can pay off big time come fall.
The post-hunting season blues may still be well entrenched, but the long, hard winter is finally behind us, and soon the barren landscape will again start to show signs of life as hunters everywhere begin developing ideas for the upcoming season. For many, those plans are centered around habitat management and food plots. These gold mines of fame and fortune have long since been a staple item in the habitat manager's playbook, and rightfully so. Food plots are masterful creations of time, patience, and purpose. For many, they're almost as satisfying as the hunt itself. You see, the artistry of turning dirt and putting seed to soil is about as close to nature and our human roots as one can get. We essentially create something from nothing, and then reap the fruits of our labor. Proper planning and execution is always key, no matter what endeavor you find yourself in the middle of. Quite simply, you can't just throw seed on the ground and expect a trophy buck to frequent that very spot. You also can't expect a food plot to flourish just because you toiled around with it for weeks or months. All pieces of the puzzle must be present for the entire picture to come together, which is why so much has been written about food plots. Everything from preparing your soil to even optimizing one's hunting success over them. There's a well-documented distinction between year-round destination food plots and the highly productive satellite plots with which most hunters take their prized quarry from each year. Now, for the purposes of this video, we'll focus strictly on those honey hole-style satellite food plots. For many of us here in the north, while January spells the end of another year at deer camp, February ushers in a brand new season of hopes and dreams as we take to the comfort of a warm chair in front of the fireplace, while snow begins piling up outside and we begin strategizing for the new year. Depending on your location and the crop you've settled on, most satellite food plots are planted towards the end of summer or beginning of early fall. But what about those prized hunting spots during the first half of the year? What are you doing to ensure that those future food plots are positioned for optimal growth and surefire success? If your answer falls anywhere under the
just wait until after the summer holidays and we can get out there and start planting
umbrella, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. For instance, allowing what little might be left of last year's brassica crop to simply sit through spring and early summer would be a missed opportunity. Not only could that soil be utilized for continued attraction and nutrition, but you're also allowing the location to slowly revert back to a fallow state, where weeds can quickly overtake a once breathtaking food plot. Left unchecked, some smartweed species are capable of producing more than 7,500 new seeds in a matter of weeks from just a single plant alone. Now, just 1 acre of ground is capable of producing in upwards of 125 million new seeds. Imagine what your quarter or half acre plot of soil in spring could potentially look like by the time you're ready to plant that premier bag of seed just a few months later. Now sure, you could let it go and simply spray it off when you're ready to plant, but the cost of protecting your soil is a mere drop in the bucket when you consider the overall investment that most of us make in habitat management. It's an inexpensive policy that ensures the plot will be ready to perform when you need it to. As soon as the soil can be worked, you should be out there with dirt on your hands. Cover crops are invaluable tools that should be included in your annual routine without question. They protect against soil erosion, help smother out weed competition, and offer the important nutritional benefits that we seek for our white-tailed deer. Here in northern Pennsylvania, as soon as the weather permits in April, we're disking what little remains of the fall food plot from the year before. Once the soil has been disked and cultipacked, we broadcast one of our favored cover crops across the plot. Buckwheat is a relatively inexpensive, time-tested winter that offers immediate protection thanks to its quick germination and fast growing characteristics, which crowd out any weed competition in short order. The plant can reach heights of about 2.5 feet tall before the heads begin to flower, approximately 7 to 8 weeks after germination. Do not let the plant set seed though, or buckwheat could smother your next crop. Instead, roll the plot with a cultipack or a weighted drag and allow the plot to sit until you're ready to plant your fall crop. Buckwheat does a phenomenal job of retaining water, so if you're unable to plant, say, brassicas for 2 or 3 weeks, why, the rolled buckwheat will continue to keep weeds at bay and moisture in check until you're ready. Preparing the soil then is as simple as disking and cultipacking one last time. One of our personal favorites, however, is winter rye. Now, not to be confused with rye grass, winter rye is an actual cereal grain, and it is highly palatable to deer. Like buckwheat, it too is a quick germinator, but with several added benefits. First, winter rye can germinate in temperatures as low as 33 degrees, which can be a blessing for those of us with multiple acres of food plots that need tended to. Now, a lower temperature means that you can put seed to soil much earlier, or even later depending on how you're using it, than buckwheat, which requires at least 45 degrees to germinate. Second, winter rye can withstand extreme cold. Now, we're talking below zero cold and still remain green, upright, and palatable. Such longevity makes for an excellent overwintering cover crop. If you had a once lush fall crop that deer have annihilated, think soybeans, and the first flakes of winter have yet to fall from the sky, by all means, get out there and broadcast winter rye. As winter takes hold, so too will a lush landscape of cereal grains that your deer will devour. Third, when used as a spring cover crop, the benefits just keep piling up. In addition to its quick germination and ability to choke out early season weeds, winter rye takes it a step further through a biological phenomenon known as allelopathy. A chemical that's created by the plant is released into the environment, which prevents other weed seeds from germinating. This naturally occurring herbicide persists even after the plant has been terminated. What's more, winter rye acts as a nutrient scavenger, keeping vital nutrients in your soil and out of surface and groundwater runoff.
No matter what your habitat management plan looks like, no playbook is complete without working cover crops into the equation. Trust us when we say they can prove to be an absolute game changer when it comes to that all too exhilarating time in the woods.
Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to stay with us, subscribe, and pass the word along to other people that you know might be interested in this type of content, and we'll continue to bring it to you.